Welcome to my ultimate Gogmazios guide for Monster Hunter Wilds. I will show you all the mechanics in each phase and how to counter them. I will also cover must-have skills and gear pieces to make this fight much easier. Now, let's dive straight in. First, let's talk about a special twist of the hunt. It's designed not around 4 but 8 hunters. 4 of them are players and the other 4 are support hunters. If you play solo, you can enable another 3 support hunters to join you. They fight alongside you, do mechanics and even buff and heal from time to time. To activate them, go to the quest settings and switch the multiplayer settings to only support hunters. Then go to the bottom and select which ones you want to take with you. And then either select automatic SOS flare to have them from the start with you or send an SOS flare during the hunt to summon them. While the hunt is easier in a full group of real players, it doesn't seem to be balanced directly around it. So it's definitely doable solo and the support hunters. Now let's take a look at the element mechanic of Gogmazios, which is extremely important for this fight. There are 3 different phases which get progressively harder and harder. Gogmazios is covered in oil, which can have 3 different states. It's either solid, liquid or in gas form. During phase 1 and 2 it can only be solid or liquid, and here's the main catch. While it's solid, you do more damage with fire element weapons to it, which will also soften the oil up and eventually turn into liquid. You will see that the oil starts dripping from its wings. When it's liquid or gas, you will do more damage with dragon element weapons. That's why it's extremely important to bring one of each elemental weapon with you. Especially the dragon weapon is needed for later in the fight, or it will be impossible to finish the hunt. There's also a huge gun sticking out of Gog, but more on that later. Now, let's start with phase 1. You spawn directly in front of Gogmazios and the fight ensues instantly. It's pretty big and very agile for its size, so watch out. All the attacks hurt a lot, but you should watch out for these 2 dangerous moves that can't be blocked without guard up. The first one is the white oil laser that sweeps the area horizontally. It has a pretty big wind up and you can counter it by running into Gog. The second one is also an oil laser, but this one is a frontal beam. Try to sidestep it and then damage the head and the wings. Other than that, it does the usual dragon things: biting, spitting, sweeping, running, slamming and so on. It will also cover the ground with sticky oil, which will slow you down when you step into it. This oil can also ignite and will explode after a short time, so watch out for that. The safest area is usually just below him, so most attack won't reach there. But its weak points for ideal damage are the head and the big wings, so make sure to hit them. You can also abuse the environment for some decent extra damage. There are geysers on the ground which can be ignited with spark flints. This is a decent 2000 damage to Gog. And there's also a boulder that you can drop on it for more damage and a DPS window after it falls down. That's basically everything for phase 1. Do damage, stay alive, and it will eventually heat up, run towards the ledge and spit fire on it. This will fill the ground area with lava, and we don't touch lava here. Climb up to enter the next phase. If you found that useful so far, make sure to subscribe to my channel for future guides and videos. In phase 2 you will have much less space, but Gogmazios won't move as much. It will just lean on the ledge and attack you from there. When you go up, you will find 3 hunks of blast coals on the side waiting to be picked up and rolled into Gog for free 500 damage. This is where the barrel bowling practice comes in handy. Above Gog there's also a big boulder which you can use to do big damage and stagger it. And lastly, there's also a lever in the middle that you can pull in phase 2. If Gog stands in front of it, it will get hit by it for huge damage. From here on, you want to attack its wings and face as much as you can, while dodging all the lasers and the burning oil puddles it throws at you. It will also try to punch you, so keep dodging. The scariest attack is the white horizontal oil spit, which explodes almost instantly. If it's in melee range, run out. If it's outside, run back in. I mentioned the big weapon on its back before. It will either stick out of its left or right side. Make sure to position yourself towards that side and attack that wing. After doing enough damage, Gog will fall over and its back will be vulnerable. When this happens, you want to send all your damage into its back. If you do enough damage, the weapon from its back will break free and fall down, aiming conveniently at Gogmazios. And if you didn't do enough damage, just repeat the process until you break it free. And here comes the special mechanic of the second phase. This weapon needs power, and you will notice 3 glowing wyvern milk flowers on the walls behind you. These are called Nexus. You can interact with them to pull a string from it and walk towards the weapon. When you carry that string, you are extremely slow and Gog keeps attacking. You can press X or A to dodge, or square or cross to let go. Your goal is to connect the 3 strings with a weapon. To do that, simply interact with it while you stand next to it. After doing that, the weapon will start charging up. You will see a filling bar in the middle of it. You can aim the weapon by interacting with it from the sides. Make sure to aim it at Gog. And if you stand directly behind it, you can interact with it to shoot. But I highly suggest to wait until it's fully charged before you use it. This will shoot a massive laser at Gog, inflicting over 67,000 damage. 67. You really don't want to miss that one, so double check if your aim is on point. After dishing out enough damage during this phase, Gog will fly up to the last arena where phase 3 will begin. You can use that time to go back to camp and restock items. If you do it instantly, you will still arrive at the same time as Gog. If you don't need to restock, it will stop for a few seconds in a small intermission area where you could damage it a bit more, but that's just min-maxing. Alright, it's time for phase 3, the hardest part of the fight. Gogmazios will enter its gaseous state, which is the most dangerous of all. During this phase, you have one goal. Inflict as much dragon element damage as possible or your group will card. This is a DPS check, so make sure to switch to your dragon element weapon. The problem? It starts flying around, spitting fire and oil everywhere while covering the room in dozens of explosions. Here's where things turn extremely chaotic, so really watch out where you step. Especially that big oil fire breath is dangerous because it covers the full room. After its initial spit, it's usually safe to stand directly below Gog. As melee player, you won't be able to reach it easily, only the tail is hittable sometimes, but it's really hard to do. You will notice that Gog drops blue shinies on the ground that you can pick up. They can also appear on its body, which you can get with a slinger. These are 2 shots of the anti-wyvern gunslinger ammo. The cool thing is that you can hold R2 to charge it up while aiming. If you're not a ranged player, this will help you do damage to Gog while it's flying around. Try and aim for its wings to inflict around 500 dragon damage per charged shot. But sometimes it will do a body slam on the ground, which will give you a bit of damage uptime on its wings, head or tail. If you did enough damage while it's flying, it will fall down and continue on the ground for a while. Abuse that window for as much damage as you can dish out. The attack pattern is similar to phase 1, but almost all moves have an extra attack, so be careful. You will also notice 2 chimneys on the side, which you can grab with your slinger. If Gog is next to it, you can drop them on it to do good damage and knock it on the ground. After a while, Gog will turn red and fly into the center of the room while preparing its ultimate attack. During this time, you will do huge damage to it, so abuse these few seconds to hopefully pass the DPS check. From here on, there are 2 possibilities. A. You didn't manage to inflict enough dragon element damage during the phase and Gogmazios will fly up and do a huge fire nova, which wipes out your entire team. This is not blockable, not even with guard up. Fabius knows this too, so he won't even try. Or B. You did enough damage and you will be able to hide behind Fabius' block to survive its ultimate attack. Fabius will run into one corner of the room, so make sure to follow him and stand in the safe area behind him. If you step out by mistake, you will instantly card. And if you have a blocking weapon and Fabius is too far away, you can also block this attack yourself. Other players can even hide behind you like they can do with him. But you will take quite a bit of chip damage though, so keep that in mind. If you manage to survive this attack, Gog will have a little bit of a cooldown phase, where it will fight on the ground while pretty much using its phase 1 moves. Use this downtime to dish out damage. Then it'll get angry again, starts flying, and phase 3 repeats again. And yes, every time it gets angry, there will be another DPS check. So keep fighting and the win will be yours. Alright, now that we covered the fight, here are some important tips and tricks. Number 1. You have 50 minutes for this fight, so there's no rush. If you run out of heals or supplies, there's no shame in going back to camp to restock and come back to fight. Especially between phase 2 and 3, there's downtime you can always use. Number 2. The oil on the ground slows you down by quite a bit. But if you slot in 2 Mirewalker gems, you will get aquatic oil silt mobility, which will reduce the effect by a lot. I can't recommend this enough, especially since it's pretty cheap to fill into almost every build. Number 3. You can even mount Gog, but it has a high threshold, so you will be able to only do it once in the fight. I suggest you do it in the last phase, bring it to the ground to dish out more dragon damage. Number 4. At the start of phase 3, you can climb up on the left side to dodge most of Gog's initial rampage. You can also get in some free wyvern gunshots there. Number 5. You will notice some blue parts on its body. These are weak spots and are good hit zones for damage. If you break them, you will even get more parts for your Gogmazios weapons later on. I have a video here that explains how they work. Number 6. The group composition doesn't really matter in this fight, but having a dedicated support hunter with you with some white rage effect can help a lot. Especially hunting horn players with sonic barrier can reduce the incoming damage by a huge amount. Here's an example set I used. If you don't have the charm, you can just use a crafted one. Did I miss any important tips? If yes, let me know in the comments or tell me live on twitch.tv/NinoMMO. I'm streaming with an open lobby, so let's hunt together. Thanks for watching, bye bye.